My name is Joanne Rice. I'm the Deputy Chief of Gainesville Fire Rescue, and I had the pleasure of being the project manager for Fire Station Number 1. And one of the things I want to tell you is that it's not a one-person job. It's about a 50, 60, 80, 100-person job just to get it going and get it started. I do want to thank a few people that have helped us along the way, and really the first person I want to thank is Chief Gene Prince, retired from Gainesville Fire Rescue, who really got us started on this program and got us started. We were trying to count the years back, and it was somewhere between 8 and 10, really, to get things going. It takes a while to get everyone on the same page and getting us moving forward with a big project like this. But I want to thank him for his vision and his forethought to really get us going and getting this project started. And we certainly couldn't have kept the project going without the support of our current commission that is here today, as I have a good group of them sitting on the front row here, and certainly our current Fire Chief Jeff Lane, and certainly City Manager Anthony Lyons, and Mr. Hoffman, and certainly Mr. Murray. They were very instrumental in making sure that this project continued to move forward, and that we were able to come to a successful conclusion, end up with this beautiful, beautiful facility. But also, if you look around the station, you'll see some things that have already been built by our firefighters. District Chief Lovren, he built that beautiful table inside, if you take a look at that. And then it took about 50 firefighters to get that into the station, if you see it. And I can tell you one of the things about a fire station, the dinner table is one of the most important places for us. We gather around that table, we laugh, we eat together, we break bread, we cry. We do everything around a dinner table, as we do, as a family does. And that's what we will do here at this station for years and years and years to come. So James Lovren, thank you so much for building that table for us. And give him a round of applause.
In many ways, there's an inside of this station and an outside. The inside of this station has been very well framed as a home for the firefighters. The quality of the people inside this building, the quality of their relationships, the quality of the training that occurs here, their behavioral and mental health that goes on inside this building, their physical fitness that goes on inside this building, it all starts right in this building and goes out from here. The speed with which they can get that call and the speed with which they can come down these poles and into these vehicles and get to your home, that's what this fire department's about, that rapid response. And it all begins in this station and all of our stations and facilities throughout this city. That is what their purpose is. That's the inside of the station. The outside station to us, though, is a reflection of our elected leaders. They, as a representative of the people of this city, it's their investment in the most common, the most fantastic, and the most celebrated should be emotion that humans can endeavor, and that is one of compassion. Compassion for others. It doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter how much money you make, doesn't matter what your station of life is or what your challenges are. You get the same level of compassion regardless. You get the same response, you get the same effort. And lastly, it's a beacon to the past. This would be the third Fire Station Number 1 in about 150 years. And so we have pieces of each of those stations embedded in this station. We have the original cornerstone, keystone from the 1903 station that was down by the Hippodrome. As you know, that station was built. Before that, they were hanging out in the Kiwanis Club. But the hose companies came together and the engine companies came together and they formed the Gainesville Fire Department in around 1882. Then they built the fire station in 1903. And of course, we know what happened in 1906. The University of Florida came here. So a lot of things happened, part of that innovation. We were a premier fire department, leader in all technology. We had one of the first telegraph systems here that announced the fire and brought it back to the fire station. A friend of the fire service, a student that went here in the 1960s, got to know the man that kept up those telegraph bells and pull stations and helped him out and rode at Station 2 over in the University Park area, and came back about 2 weeks ago and said, "Chief, I'm retired. I went to school here, went on to get my PhD, and I retired as a battalion chief of the city of Atlanta. And the guy gave me this station bell, and I want to bring it home." He didn't know that we were opening a station, but how prominent that was.
These projects really do take an enormous amount of time, and so I thank you, in particular the Mayor and City Commission. It really You have to be steadfast year after year after year. I appreciate it. Chief Lane, dedication to get this done and help drive us all to action. Chief Rice, who was really the project person in the fire department day in, day out. Every single detail I think she looked after and still looking after today, including dust on the floor we were talking about earlier today. Reed Rivers, who as I mentioned before, former jury employee, has now come over to general government, has built police station, fire station, any number of other things, and so we thank him back there, Reed. Fred Murray and Assistant City Manager and your whole facility staff, thank you very, very much. The group has been really wonderful. And then most importantly, all the residents and neighbors in this area who really worked tirelessly with the city and with the fire department to make this work. This is a neighborhood building, and the neighbors really came together to assist this. Just a couple of quick things by the numbers, just so people put this in context. So I just looked for the last 3 years. I've been city manager since November of 2015, just to get a sense of what investment has been made in the fire in the fire department in those 3 years. We have built 3 new stations at the airport. It wasn't necessarily the government, it was through federal government. The Butler Plaza and now this one, so 3 new fire stations. This building costs approximately $10 million. Now these are unaudited numbers, just so everyone, if you're reporting on this, is unaudited. These are my quick calculations, just for the record, if we have anybody reporting on this. $18 million of additional capital investment in the fire department in those 3 years. Nearly $5 million in upgrading the radio system that we rely upon every day, and you see lots of firefighters with it by their side. 14 new firefighters during that time period. $250,000 from the University of Florida, $200,000 for some equipment, and $50,000 to help with what we call the Community Resource Paramedic Program, where people go out and really essentially help deliver health care on site. And then just within the last few days, $20,000 received to help screen our firefighters for cancer, which is an issue. So any one of those alone, you might not see in a career. One fire station or an upgrade to the radio system. We have seen that really in about 3 years, which is really absolutely incredible. And so a lot of people deserve a lot of thanks. Finally, just to express how proud I am of many things. I think sometimes in Gainesville, we want to apologize for wanting to be successful. We want to apologize for investing money where it needs to be invested. I think this one example shows what the investment should be and what it should look like. My certainly hope and goal is that we take this kind of trajectory on every problem we're trying to solve in the city and no longer want to apologize for its success or investing in people, investing in employees, investing in buildings and what it takes to become a great city. Most importantly, I'm proud of the folks that work in here every day. Every single time I come in here or any station, I'm really impressed by the firefighters we have, and I mean that. It's really a wonderful bunch, and it's really wonderful. So in closing, I'd just like to say thank you for sharing this short moment in history. Thank everybody again. This is really a wonderful day, and congratulations, everyone.
I can't imagine there's a lot left to say after all of that, after Chief Rice and Lane and the city manager. On behalf of both the City Commission and all of our residents of Gainesville, I want all of the men and women who serve through Gainesville Fire Rescue to know how much we respect them and how proud we are of the job that they do. We have a fire department that goes so far beyond the job description. And if you look over here at this sign and you look at the mission statement, it begins with the phrase that all first responders and public service agents have to protect and serve. But then the very next thing says through community involvement. It doesn't say through responding to fire calls or car crashes, the things that we see them out doing every day, through community involvement. We have a fire department that has built a culture around serving our community. that is integrated with our community. They are the people that when they roll or walk through the neighborhoods, the children and the young at heart come running to them because they want to be a part of what they're doing. Just as I showed up, children, I see one of our most recent public servants. We've got a baby back there, sorry if I got distracted. We had children running up and wanting to check out everything that was going on here because they felt so comfortable because they're a part of our community just as Gainesville Fire Rescue is a part of our community. And so as somebody who has been along with the chief for the past 10 years working on this project, working on its fulfillment, sometimes fighting back the critics with a blunt stick, this is why we invest in public buildings like this. This is why we invest in our fire department, our police department, our other first responders, because as they go, so goes our entire community. And we are so proud as a commission and as a community that we represent to be behind them because they're always there behind us. So Chief, thank you so much. All of the members of Gainesville Fire Rescue, thank you so much. We hope that you enjoy these new digs. I look forward to bringing you dinner. I actually am a good cook, so that's not a threat. It's an offer. And Chief, I think we're on to our next project. We have got another fire station to build. Thank you all for being here, and we can't wait to show you around. All right, Commissioner, 3, 2, 1.
Hey! 3, 2, 1. Go!